Hey, Jeff.
Well,
Just what'd you get out of today's scrimmage? And I mean, was it full go? You know, last practice type of intensity.
I thought it was a good last practice for us. What we tried to do was really, the entire practice was, a scrimmage format. It wasn't all live tackle, but it was a scrimmage format of moving the ball, different situations, offense on one sideline, defense on the other, coaches with the headsets on in the booth that are going to be up there, the other ones down on the field, and just trying to kind of see what our players do know and what they can handle and the communication that's going on. I thought kind of a normal day for us. The normal guys that stood out again, and some other guys we got to continue to work at getting better. But I thought it was good to get a lot of plays in game-like situations with everyone on the sideline trying to work the mechanics of a real game.
So as you evaluate this spring, did you feel like you got done what you needed to get done, and how much work is left?
I thought it was a good spring. I think on defense, we got a lot of things in. There are a few things maybe left that we'd like to just have it in the arsenal, but there was quite a bit of different things that we got in that we wanted to take a look at. Numerous ways to attack the offense and be aggressive in the approach and put guys in maybe a few different positions to try to succeed and isolate them and give them a chance to do their thing. I thought we showed some good signs there. Actually, there are a handful of guys that we've got to keep healthy all year because they can make plays for us. We've got to continue to get the others better around them and build some depth. But I do think we're making improvement there on offense. There have been strides in the running game. We've got to continue to work it. We've got to continue to, push that forward as much as we can. It's not going to just happen overnight, but there have been some good days, really. One day this week we had a couple good running sessions, and today it was okay. But I think we're making strides, and a few players on the outside with some receivers being out, and David and Milton, and TJ Sheffield, Rashawn Rice, Antler's been consistent. Malik Carr has shown a few things. Colin Sullivan's made a few plays. We have Garrett Miller out at tight end, so he's recovering from shoulder surgery. So Kyle Billadue's got a lot of action, and he's made strides. We got to continue to press forward with him. Payne Durham's been consistent. We got to keep him healthy. So once again, on that side of the ball, there are certain guys we got to keep healthy as well and make sure that they're able to make plays and get enough touches in their hands. And then special teams was kind of what it's been this spring. We've had some better days. Today wasn't our best day of kicking the football. And we just got to continue to work through it. We tried to put our kickers in as many pressure situations as we can, with something on the line, with the whole team out there watching, with consequences for misses. And, the other day was a little better. Today was once again not one of our better days. So we just got to continue to work hard and press through that.
Just based on what you have said and others have said, did TJ Sheffield have a really good 15 practices, and is he a guy that maybe has emerged as your leading slot receiver going into next season?
Well, when I look on the offense side of the ball, TJ has stood out the most, without question. He's really kind of turned the corner. He's matured. He's stayed healthy. He can do a lot of things for us. He's made some big plays up the field. Jackson Antler is always going to be steady and in that position as well. So that gives us two really good slot receivers. Jackson's played some running back. He's the guy we want to try to get more touches as well, and has been very consistent. TJ, maybe has a little bit better chance of making the big play up the field, but both guys have done a good job. So yes, TJ, it's been. I honestly think him returning kickoffs last year and having some success is probably one of our better units of special teams. Got him over the hump of being tackled and making runs with traffic coming at you and gaining confidence that, yes, I can be a runner and make some yards. So to me, having him on kickoff returns all year has helped his confidence and his production so far this spring.
What can a healthy Rashawn Rice mean for your offense going into 2021?
Well, I think Rashawn gives us a good-sized body on the outside with David and Milton. Both those guys are over 6 foot. Rashawn is as well. Rashawn is strong. He's shown signs before now, but has been injured a lot with numerous things that have happened that have kept him out for quite a bit of time. He's gone through the whole spring healthy, so that's progress. And we want to make him prove that you can go through the season healthy and camp healthy too, because he is a guy that can do some things for us, and he gives us another guy on the outside with legitimate size. He did make some really good plays today, without question. A couple really challenging catches that not all of our guys can make. So that's been really good to see, and I'm happy for him because I know he's been disappointed not to get out there, and he can give us some really good things on special teams also.
Just with your quarterbacks, how do you sum up what they did? I know Aiden was limited in 11-on-11 drills, but just as a group and maybe individually, what steps did they take, and what do they need to do to really get prepared for camp coming up later?
I think the quarterback position has improved. I feel like we've got really four guys that are pretty even, and sometimes you'll have one or two, maybe three. We've got four quarterbacks that we feel like have done a very good job. Jack has continued to improve and done a very good job out there and been pretty consistent. Aiden has not taken team reps, but he's played for us before. Austin Burton has gotten more reps. He's definitely elevated his game, and he's very similar in a mold to Jack Plummer. That maybe Jack's maybe a little bit more cerebral, and Austin is a little more athletic and run around, make a few more plays. But both of them have had a very good camp, and we would feel comfortable with all those guys in the game. You have Michael Lamo, who's a young quarterback that really has taken great strides this spring. He probably has, maybe the best arm on the team. He can throw it vertically. Understanding the offense and all the nuances that he's going to see on defense and all the things he's got to be alert to and the timing of getting the ball out. He's still got to make progress there, but he has definitely done some really good things. He is athletic. If he has to run, he's done a pretty good job of that. So really, that position has to play well, but we have to play well around it, and they have to play within themselves. And but I've been happy with the spring they've had so far, all those guys.
Kind of a broad question, but what's your number one question going into the off season now?
Well, I think it's really the same questions that you guys have probably known and we still have. I mean, we want to get the running game better, and until we really see it against other teams, I can't tell for sure. I think we've made strides, but we've got to be committed to it, and I've got to be committed to it, and we've got to make strides there. At the same time, we have to identify the playmakers, and they have to get their touches. So however that is, we may have to use multiple ways to do that. Maybe, whether it's receivers in the backfield or whether it's some ways behind the line of scrimmage to get the receivers the ball, to take a little pressure off the running backs. That has to happen. Play action off of it is big for us. We got to be able to run it enough that we, invite more guys in the box and get a little more one-on-one situations. Right now, we're facing a lot of teams that are playing the pass, so we've got to run when we've got the right numbers, and we've got to run successfully. The ability for the quarterback to run and make some plays with his feet, not just by scramble, but by design, has to happen. So we really, went in depth on that piece of it. And sometimes when it's not live tackle on the quarterback, you can't tell for sure. But I think we have a few more elements there that hopefully will help. So that's the question on offense. And, I think when it comes to defense, we've got a handful of really good players, and then we need others to elevate their play. But I do think there's depth. It's just we've got to continue to get the depth to improve. We are a little thin at corner. We're with a few guys out, but there may be some additions along the way that we want to get a look at. Safeties, we've had our two starting safeties out the entire camp. We've got to get them healthy, but we've been able to look at a few others. But those are our two best safeties as of today. So that's going to be something we've got to keep an eye on. We do have a multitude of linebackers. We want to make sure that we get those guys healthy. There's a few guys out right now and been out, but they've shown some signs where they were practicing. The interior of the D-line, Branson Dean has done a very good job. Anthony Watts and Lawrence Johnson has been out. They have the most experience for us, so we've got to get them healthy, and they got to do a good job. But the others have to step up and play. We've got to be able to play multiple guys. So really, I want our guys to try to make plays. I want our guys to not be scared to fail, to take chances, to guard people, to challenge things, to do their job the best that they can, and do it aggressive. And then on special teams, that's another question. We've got to get better. We've got to gain an advantage. We can't have some costly miscues, is what we had last year. There was kickoff return was the best unit we had. We did improve. The punting game, something we've got to for sure get better at. Field goal and extra points, losing our kicker is something we've got to get better at. So there's a lot of work to be done, and we've got to, with spring being over now, as far as practice on the field, we are able to utilize, this full next month beyond this to work with our guys on the field. There are 2 hours a week of walkthroughs that are allowed now that were not in the past. The ability to meet with our guys, the ability to watch video, the ability to continue to work out, study this spring and evaluate that, and be able those guys to. Sometimes when you're just evaluating the last season, that's good, but some of those guys haven't played. So to be able to watch themselves on video in more depth and have ample time for that, I think can be valuable, and we've got to utilize that.
Thank you.
Hey, Jeff.
How you
doing? Did anything strike you from the running back position at all this spring? Or are you still happy with Xander and King for the most part there, and maybe Dejon Hewitt?
Well, I think right where we're at with the running game, Xander has played the most ball for us. He's done a solid job. The ability to shake and make guys miss in the hole and go the distance, that's probably not his strength. But you know what? He does a lot of other things good. So we have no complaints about his play. He gives us everything he has, but he's a bigger back. King has been injured. When we've had him healthy this spring, which he's been at a little bit, he's done a good job. The ability to make guys miss in the hole still something he's got to work on. When he gets a crease and he gets some room, he's pretty good. But giving a little shake and wiggle is something we've got to get better at. Dejon Hewitt has made some strides.
Yeah, Dylan Dowling.
Dylan Dowling has showed us that he's coming. He's done a very good job. I think he can help us learning the package and pass protection. He's got to make some strides there. So really, I think that breakaway guy, that guy that has some wiggle and shake. I don't know. Maybe we've got to use some receivers at times. Maybe we've got to mix some things up and have some creativity to make sure that we have more than one dimension. So that's kind of the challenge that we have right now. And like I said, whether it's personnel, whether it's even the quarterback involved in the running game more at times, it's going to be important that we strategically, have the ability to do that, and that we find ways to, gain an extra blocker with that type of running game.
And was there a winner today, Jeff, the offense or defense? Did one side of the ball have an advantage or not?
You know what? It was kind of back and forth. I think the offense started well when we had our ones out there. When we went to 2s and 3s, we struggled a little bit. We had a little lull there in the middle where the defense did some good things, made plays. In the red zone, our offense probably had the better end of the bargain against our defense. We made some plays in the red zone. Third downs, really our defense had the better end of the offense. And some of those are longer yardage, and they were able to get sacks and get pressure on the quarterback, and that hurt. They were able to guard guys longer, so it allowed those guys to get in on the quarterback. So they had the upper hand on that. So it was just kind of back and forth. I'm encouraged, by some of the things we're doing on defense. It's allowed our guys to play a little faster, to attack more, to challenge things more, to not be so worried about getting the ball thrown over your head, and guard things tighter underneath in our underneath coverage. I think it's important. We don't want the quarterback to just be able to drop back and throw an easy completion because someone's wide open. We want to guard people wherever they're at. And obviously, you got to be smart with that. And you don't want to get crazy, but we do want to challenge things more. And I think it's helped our defense so far in camp make many more plays than they maybe had last year. So that's been good to see. Now we've got to carry it over to the game, and we got to do it against good opponents. So we'll see how that goes.
About how many plays did you run today?
I'd say over 100. team plays.
You out there for a couple hours
Yes.
in Ross-Ade Stadium?
Yes.
Good deal. All right. Okay. That's all I got, Jeff. I appreciate it.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate
thank
it.
For the weekend, enjoy the games.
All right.